kind of going there not knowing what to expect. You've worked with kids before and you've taken pictures with a ton of kids, but these are obviously kids that are in very different situations. It's hard. Between rooms of visiting kids, we had to take like little breaks, but when you walk in there and you give them a big smile, it just made all the difference to them. It was things that they'd look forward to for weeks.
So who did you normally dress up as when you went to the Children's Hospital?
I would pretty much always dress up as Rey. I always tell people I didn't really have a choice to be a Star Wars fan. My brother is 6.5 years older than me, so I was on the ground. He had a toy bin with all of the Star Wars figures, and I'd pick out a good guy. He'd say, no, Jessica. And then I'd pick out a bad guy, and he'd go, yes, Jessica. So I was taught when I was learning how to talk the names of Star Wars characters. I'd say for Rey, though, I really love nature, and I kind of have that feeling with nature. I think Rey's feeling with the Force is kind of what helped me identify with her as well. Not to brag, but I was normally the favorite, because if the kids were scared of the stormtroopers or Darth Vader coming into the room, they'd see me as like the good guy, you know, with her face showing, and then they wouldn't be as scared. And since I've built my own fully functional BB-8 robot with my brother, I would bring him along and he'd either drive into the kids' rooms or we'd have to bring him in a little wagon and then take him out. Like, one of the nice things is if the kids are really sick and they can't really interact with us, they can interact with the droid. We were actually one of the first people in the United States to have a fully functional unit. Some of the actual scenes in the movie were filmed with a puppet droid where they'd literally be pushing it, you know, with a green screened kind of rod, and then they take that out. But fully functional means that he drives himself, he's programmed, he, you know, has lights, he has sounds, and a personality.
Tell us about your medical dental journey.
Ever since I was a little girl, I really wanted to help people. I've actually been a children's swim teacher for a long time, over 10 years now. I've taught kids with special needs. I've taught kids who wanted to be on swim team, and then kids who just had a huge fear of water, you know, whole wide range. And with that, when I had braces, I figured out that dentistry was a really good career for me.
And do you see this becoming a part of your future dental practice?
If I could, you know, bring BB-8 into the office for kids who are really scared or something, you know, and even just have a Star Wars theme to my office. Now, I know, you know, May the 4th every year. I'm sure that'll be a big event in my office.
All right, folks, I'm feeling a sudden shift in the Force. That can only mean one thing, that it's Jessica Stacco with Rey!
A lot of the Star Wars universe has this idea of hope. These kids, the ones that we visit, are really sick and they need hope. So when they see me as Rey, especially if they're familiar with Star Wars, I think they kind of identify that with hope. It's, you know, a huge weight sometimes for me when I'm there, but I know that, like, sometimes that gives them the motivation that they need to keep going.